All right, congratulations on making it to Unit 6, which is the finger picking lesson. For our introduction, we're going to talk a little bit about the right hand now, because as we get into finger picking, your left hand does what it's been doing all along. You're still going to form your chords with your left hand. You're still going to place your fingers and think about your proper finger placement. Nothing with your left hand is going to change. But now with your right hand, instead of just doing up and down strum patterns, you're going to be utilizing your thumb and 3 of your fingers to do what we call arpeggiated patterns. To let the strings ring individually instead of strumming all of the notes at once. So you can really kind of play with some different right hand patterns. The first thing you need to learn is proper right hand placement and what we call our right hand technique for finger picking. When finger picking, our fingers have labels. Our thumb is known as P. I don't know why that's the case, but whenever you play something that has finger picking, a P indicates that that should be strummed or plucked by your thumb. I is for our index finger. M is for our middle finger. And A is for our ring finger. Again, I don't know why A. These two make sense. P and A do not. But you need to remember PIMA, P-I-M-A. Our pinky doesn't get used for finger picking. It's not a very strong finger, and so that one just kind of hangs out. Your thumb is responsible for covering your 3 low strings, so E, A, D, if you remember elephants and donkeys, right, for our low strings. So your thumb will be skipping around. Your 3 fingers, however, have assigned spots. Your index finger, your I finger, lives on the 3rd string, and it always stays there. M, your middle finger, lives on the 2nd string, always stays there. And A, your ring finger, stays on your 1st string. So these 3 fingers stay set, and your thumb will jump around a little bit. For proper placement, you want to be moving from the joint closest to the wrist. So when you strum, you're using this joint, not little pulls from here, but you're going to actually do like a full strum motion, okay, with your whole finger. Your thumb is going to stay outside and to the left of your fingers, so you don't want to kind of get in a weird shape like this. It's a very natural position where my thumb is a little bit to the left. And that maybe would be a good place to stop for now. On page 61 and 62 in your book, there's a little bit to read through. There's a lot of great diagrams to check out that'll just review everything that I just went over. And you'll be working on some exercises as well. Those exercises use all open strings. So you're not going to be doing anything with your left hand right now. That can just stay down or kind of in a neutral position. And your right hand is going to get set. And you're just going to practice strumming and pulling. Okay. There's 2 different types of strokes when finger picking. There's what's called the rest stroke, which is what your thumb does when your thumb plays and rests against the string next to it. And then there's also a free stroke, which your thumb has to do on the 4th string, where you kind of pull up a little bit more. So that's resting strokes and free strokes with your thumb. And then your fingers do more of like a pulling motion, like you're scratching something. And you let your finger get underneath the string a little bit. So it's rest stroke, pull, rest stroke, pull, and then free stroke. The reason why is if you did a resting stroke on your 4th string, you wouldn't be able to hear this one when you pulled it up. Okay. So jump into the exercises on 61, 62. Again, they're all open strings, so I'm going to challenge you to remember, think back to elementary school when you were learning instruments and learning to read on the treble clef to figure out which notes are which. remember your strings on the guitar are E, A, D, G, B, E. Elephants and donkeys grow big ears. And obviously the note that sits the lowest on the staff is your low E, and the one that sits near the very top of the staff is going to be your high E. And you're just going to practice some different patterns that utilize some different finger picking strokes. It starts with just your thumb. Exercise number 1 is just your thumb. But you see how I kept my fingers in their assigned spots? That's a really good way to practice. Exercises number 2, 3, and 4, you're just practicing kind of that pulling motion. Then you start to put it all together. Exercise 5 is something like this. And then for 6, you add your thumb in. And then you start to move your thumb around a little bit. So spend some time with the book, spend some practicing with these different techniques and patterns. And then your next task is going to be to take a quiz, and I'm going to choose 2 of these exercises for you to play for me. So you need to prepare all of them. When you're ready, call me over, and then I'll let you know which 2 I would like to hear. All right? And then at that point, you'll move on to do some different right hand patterns and start to add in chords with the left hand. Have fun!